Hey, good morning, everybody. Matt here with OddsJam. Don't forget that college basketball is, in fact, back. Granted, we've had a pretty gross slate of games so far. I'm recording this for college basketball Best Bets Today, Thursday, November 10th. But tomorrow, we have some pretty awesome games, so make sure to keep out for that. But regardless, I'm going to be giving you my best college basketball bets specifically for today. So as of right now, I have 3 bets for you guys that I really like. Hopefully, I'm able to lock these in before the odds change on me. I will say college basketball has gone pretty well for me so far. I had a great first day, great second day. Yesterday was kind of iffy, not as good as the first 2, so hopefully I can keep up the luck that I've had the first couple days. But regardless, we can get into it. Of course, finding all of these bets using OddsJam, using the positive expected value page. So the first play that I'm going to lock in here is in the Charleston Southern versus Ohio State game. Electric matchup between these two teams. I'm going to take the under 143.5. This is at minus 110 odds at Caesars. And I'm going to put a full unit on this one. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this in, place this bet. We are good to go. So let's chat about this one. The first thing, of course, that everybody knows at this point is positive expected value. OddsJam, the perfect line, calculates the no-vig odds on this to be at about minus 114. These no-vig odds you can view as the true line of what a market should truly be priced at. These odds are pulled from the sharpest sports books in the world using a weighted average, giving heavier weight to the sharper ones. So these odds are really good more often than not. If you're able to beat the no-vig odds from all of the sharp sports books, you will be profitable in the long run. It's worked out great for me. So for this specific play, the no-vig odds price this at about minus 114. We can round down. It's at minus 114.38. We can round down. We got it at Caesars at minus 110. So for totals and spreads, before I even think about placing a bet, and I did this before I started recording, just so you guys know, but before I even think about placing a bet, the first thing that I do is if you click open a play and then you view the event page in a new tab, which is whoops, I didn't mean to close out Caesars, which is what I have up here. It pulls up where every sportsbook prices odds for this play. So if you remember, we took the under 143.5 minus 110 at Caesars. Actually looks like now that you can get better odds on this on FanDuel at minus 104. So I wish that I guess I just should have refreshed it because those FanDuel odds had changed since I had locked it in. But regardless, now this is an even better play, the minus 104 on FanDuel. But regardless, as we can see, we took it the under at 143.5. Looks like there are 2 sportsbooks that have their main lines at 143.5. FanDuel, which is now the better odds at minus 104, and Caesars at minus 110. Look at where every other book prices this total. DraftKings prices it at 143. Looks like BetMGM, PointsBet, prices it at 142.5. That's a full point lower. Looks like Betfred, WinBet, BetRivers, Bet365, BetOnline, and Pinnacle. And those last 2 are very important, BetOnline and Pinnacle, because those are 2 of the sharpest sportsbooks in the world. They price it at 142, a full 1.5 lower than what we got it at 143.5. And then we see Circa price it at 141.5, a full 2 points higher, which is just ridiculous. So beating the closing line by even half a point, and in this case, we're beating it by a full 1.5, is incredibly important to being profitable in the long run. So we're taking an under 143.5, where every other book that has pricing for this total prices it below this number, which tells us that this 143.5 is too high and we should take advantage of that under, which is exactly what we did here. So the first play, we were looking at under 143.5 minus 110 at Caesars. So you can manually add this to your bet tracker, or you can sync your sports books to the OddsJam bet tracker and it'll do it automatically. As you can see here, I've already linked my Caesars account, so I don't need to go in and manually do it. It'll automatically do it. So let me give this page a refresh, make sure I'm working with the most up-to-date lines. In the next play that I was going to lock in here is this Western Kentucky minus 7 against Eastern Kentucky. Another play that is on Caesars, minus 110 odds. The no-vig line prices this at about minus 116 if we want to round up from minus 115.74. And again, look at all of the other books where they price it. We're getting it at 7. We see 7.5, 8. Even all the way down to 8.5 is what some sports books price the main line on this one, like FanDuel and like Fox Bet. And looks like Pinnacle also prices it at 8.5, a full 1.5 higher than what Caesars is offering it. So I'm going to go ahead, and cool thing about Caesars is you can just search. So I'm going to go ahead and lock in Western Kentucky. They are playing Eastern Kentucky. We want the -7. This is another play that I'm putting a full unit on, $100 on this one, Western Kentucky -7. So again, I talked through it. I don't need to beat around the bush. The same logic. We're betting on a spread. In this case, it's a spread instead of a total. We got it at -7. Every other book, literally every other book except for looks like Circa, prices their main line above this number. So we're backing the favorite, and everyone has them as a bigger favorite. So the most likely scenario here is that Western Kentucky should be 8 to 8.5 point favorites, but we are able to get them at 7. And in the long run, if you're able to take advantage of these types of opportunities where there's a clear pricing discrepancy, a clear in this case, spread discrepancy from all the other books, you will be profitable in the long run. So this is going to be my second play, Western Kentucky -7 against Eastern Kentucky. I'm going to give this page a refresh. You always want to make sure you're working with the most up-to-date lines. So this is one that I was, going to lock in as well. Oklahoma State -7.5, -118 at FanDuel. Again, I'm going to keep mentioning it because of how important it is, but same thing here. Granted, we're paying a little bit of extra juice at -118 versus -110 what the other two were, but this is still a really awesome play. Another play that is worth a full unit play. Oklahoma State -7.5. Look where all the other books price it. We see Betfred, Caesars, WinBet, Circa price it at 8. We see BetMGM, DraftKings, BetRivers, Bet365, BetOnline, and that's a very important one, BetOnline, FoxBet, and Pinnacle prices this actually all the way at 9. And if you see here, -9, Pinnacle still favors Oklahoma State at -9. They have the Oklahoma State part at -111. They have the Southern Illinois part at -105. They still think that the most likely scenario is that OK State covers -9 points, and we're getting it a full 1.5 lower than that. Just ridiculous. So this play, you do have to manually add to your bet tracker because right now we can't sync FanDuel, but this is my third play. And I do think that there was one more that I was going to lock in. This one right here, Houston Baptist versus Texas, another play that I'm locking in on Caesars. We're taking the over 139.5. And again, it's just insane. We're getting it over 139.5. Majority of books actually has this 2 points higher at 141.5. And we see like BetMGM, Betfred, PointsBet, DraftKings, WinBet, Bet365, BetOnline, and then Pinnacle all price this at 141. Actually, no, Pinnacle has it at 141, but we see majority of books have it at 141.5. So I'm going to go ahead, lock this one in as well. This is going to be my fourth and final betting pick for tonight. Texas versus Houston Christian over 139.5. Just an electric college basketball game. But that is going to be it. So 4 picks for you guys that all have a ton of value. I like all of them. I put a unit on every single one. 4 awesome plays. But that's it. So if you're tailing these, comment on the video and let me know. Would love to hear it. Other than that, if you want to find me on Twitter, you can at Jedi Modi, where I post more plays over the course of a day. And lastly, if you are enjoying these videos, I would appreciate it if you could give me a like, subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. Helps me out a ton. But that's it. So enjoy the basketball slate tonight and have a good one.